Hello, Marcus Guiliano here, international business author, speaker, Forbes Business Council contributor, and most importantly, fellow restaurant owner. I love answering comments. I love answering people's questions. I love responding via video. Love video. Video's a new way. If you're not doing video in your restaurant for promotions, you're missing the boat. By 2020, Google says video is going to rule. So I want to, I found a comment in a forum here, an unfortunate comment. I feel bad for this situation, but I will give some advice on the best I can on a bad situation. So here's the comment. We're in Hawaii where roaches are plentiful and sometimes they find their way inside our restaurant through spaces in windows and doors. We get treatment monthly to keep them from making a home. The other day, a customer had a roach crawl on their leg. We were as mortified as them. Comped their entire meal, apologized profusely, but they were not happy when they left. Fast forward, a week later, they leave us a 1-star review on Yelp saying they would never come back. It's understandable, and I'm not sure there is anything I can do to get them to come back in. Any suggestions to turn things around with these guests? So, very unfortunate situation. I'm in New York where it's cold and we still get roaches. They come in the wintertime. They find it's now it's 30, 40 degrees. Now's the time of year where they'll come in. They'll just find their way in. And roaches find their way in many places, in restaurants. They love restaurants. They can live on one little drop of grease for like a month. You put a glass on them, a pint glass on top of them on the table, and they'll live there for like a month. They're indestructible. So they like our nooks and crannies and our spilled grease and things like that. They just love that kind of stuff. So they love moisture as well. Quick story: when I first opened, I had a reporter interviewing me for a big magazine, really big. Our first big piece. I was like, wow, this is great. Multi-page piece. The photographer was there, everything. Talking to the reporter at my bar, and up comes a cockroach and crawls right across the bar, and I'm mortified. I don't know if she saw it or not, but I'm like, oh my gosh. Previous owners from us had a sink behind the bar that was rusted out and was built up water behind, and just was a haven for roaches. And we had sprayed in there and done this and that, and once we got rid of the sink, it solved the problem. So, but and every now and then a customer will see a roach here and there, because a roach comes in. It happens, and it's unfortunate when that happens. So I feel your pain. Now, the first question that I teach my coaching clients, fellow restaurant owners, is what is your end result? What is your goal in responding to people's reviews online? What is your goal? Is your goal to prove them wrong? To get argumentative? No, that steak was cooked medium rare. Your food was hot. I served it myself personally. No, your ticket says 35 minutes. You never waited an hour, to prove them wrong? Or is your goal to get the guest back in? Now, you've answered that question for me in your comment. You want to get the guest back in the door. So how do you get the guest back in the door? So two techniques or two methods that I'm going to describe here. And congratulations for wanting to get them back in and comping their whole meal, because some restaurant owners can't see past that and would have probably charged them. I know a lot of restaurant owners that would have probably charged them. Just another small quick story. 5-6 years ago, one of our waitresses, she was upstate visiting a place in upstate New York with her parents. The father orders a vodka and tonic. Tonic gets out of a bottle, poured into his glass. He takes a swig of it, spits it out, realizes it's bleach and vodka. Vodka and bleach instead of vodka and tonic. Someone behind the bar just poured some bleach into a bottle for cleaning and didn't change labels, and the owner was notified, the manager came over, still charged them 100% for their bill. 100%. If it was me, and it sounds like it was you would have comped everything, right? It's just not worth it. Chances are, when you do comp stuff like this, people are going to go out and still bash you anyway. That's just a chance you take, but you did the right thing by comping. So, how do you get them back in? Send a personal message through Yelp, giving your phone number. Here's my personal cell phone number. I would start by saying, hey, put yourself in their shoes. Now, there's a tip before we talk about really answering this. Hey, Marcus Guiliano here. So if you like the content that I'm providing in this video, you can get my book, 50 Mistakes That Business Owners Make, for free. follow the link below in the description of the video, and there's a link to get this book for free. I will ship it to you. You just pay the shipping. I've got the books already here. They're already paid for. 50 mistakes that business owners make. 15 years plus of me documenting my mistakes and how I corrected them and how I mastermind with some of these mistakes and how I learn from others and what I teach my coaching clients. And again, this book is totally free, so take advantage of it while supplies last. There's a tip before we talk about really answering this. Never respond to a bad review when it comes in, because that's when like your emotions take over. Like when it first comes in, you're like, no, and you start typing things you shouldn't type. Let it sit and roll for 24 hours, sleep on it, and then go back and type and put yourself in the guest's shoes. And a lot of guests will do that too. It sounds like this guest a week later was still having issues, and that's why the week later they decided to put it on Yelp. But in your response, explain to them, say, it's not my intention to do that. If this was happening on a regular basis, I wouldn't be in business. This is like a general blanket for all things. And usually people are complaining about staff because staff is so hard to get these days. And we just simply explain, my wife will explain, we simply didn't set out to do that. If we did, we wouldn't be in business. We've been here 10 years, 5 years, 4 years, whatever. Give a little history of the restaurant. We pride ourselves in this. We pride ourselves in cleanliness. You can even state some health department facts, like you're welcome to look at our health department reports online or go into the county building where they're on file. Everything's open to the public. We're a very clean operation. We pride ourselves in that. We eat here personally too. This is our home as well. And then basically give your phone number and say you'd like to talk to them. Say, I'd love an opportunity to talk to you, to be able to make this up to you. Now, whenever you talk about making it up to them, leave that in a private message. Don't post it on a public response, because you'll get other people that say, oh, wow, I'll complain too, and they'll make it up to me again. And people will understand they can take advantage of you. So I'd love to make this up to you somehow. I understand your situation. Here's my phone number. I'd love to talk to you more in depth about this and make this up to you. Now, if you get them on the phone, if they're willing to call you on the phone, your chances is you're going to get them. You're going to be able to get them to come back in because they're willing to pick the phone up and call you. And that's where you're simply going to say again, hey, I wish I could do everything myself. I wish I could be pest control. I wish I could serve every table myself. I wish I could cook every dish myself, but I just can't do that. And I rely upon systems and I rely upon things. And it's an unfortunate thing that happened to you. And I understand that. And I would not want that to happen to me. Again, show them you care, show them you listen, put yourself in their place. Decide to them, what do I have to do to tell them, what do I have to do to get you back into my restaurant? What would it take for you to come in? I want you to have a great experience. I want you to have an experience that everybody else has in my restaurant. I feel that you didn't have that, but I want to provide that for you. What do I have to do to have you come back in? What do I have to do? Now, this is like negotiating, right? Because he who speaks first loses, right? Don't say, I'm going to give you 25 bucks. I might get insulted. $25 gift card. Don't say $100 gift card, because a $50 gift card might be perfect. Say, just tell me what I have to do to get you back in. Now, chances are, if they're not coming back and you send them a gift card, they're not going to come back anyway, so you're not going to lose the money, but you gave the gesture. So if they say, oh, $100, don't think of it as giving them $100. Think of them as giving them a $100 gift card that only costs you 20 bucks or 30 bucks, because your food cost is what, 20 to 30%. If it's a little more, it's a little more, but that's your raw cost of what it takes to get them back in the door. But that's called reputation management, brand management. And if they will go online and write another review or reverse that review, then the $30 that it costs you to feed them is well worth it, super well worth it. On your public response, again, say, I'm sorry to be in your shoe, put yourself in their shoes, sorry for the situation, this and that, I don't set out to do that, I wish I could do everything myself. Don't offer your personal phone number there, and don't offer a deal for them to come back in, because you don't want people to know, and you don't want people thinking you're bribing people to come back in. But I offer people the stuff to come back in because I want them to come back in. So there's where you shine and show that, hey, I'm a restaurant owner, I care. It's an unfortunate situation. I admit what happened is correct, and let's move forward, and let's see how we can get you to come back in and be a raving customer. I'd love you to come back in and give us another chance. By the way, I sent you a direct message with some more details on how you get a hold of me, stuff like that. Now, when people go read your Yelp page that are thinking about doing business with you, they'll see you respond like that, and they'll be like, wow, That's a on top of it restaurant owner taking responsibility for something that might have been out of their control, responding professionally, putting themselves in their shoes, listening to the guests. And they might say, well, this guest is just, and sometimes this happens. People say this to me. Oh, I read that 1-star review. That guest is crazy. They had no idea what they were talking about, this and that. So that's possible if they're going to see that, hey, you're a better person than this reviewer who happens to be a drama queen. And that will happen. Maybe not in this review, but in other reviews. So that right there will earn you respect with your guests or future guests. And that right there alone will get you business. So that's why it's important to answer all reviews online. So I hope that helps in this situation, or it helps in any future situation of trying to get a guest to turn around and be a raving fan. And it's worked numerous times for me, 5, 6, 7 times over the last decade, where somebody's given me a bad review, reached out to them personally. I don't get many bad reviews, but where I'm just saying, hey, I'm human. I'm human. Another super quick story. In the restaurant one night, up pops my Yelp reviews. It's a 1-star review. I'm like, man, I read the review. I'm like, that guy's still here. That guy's still in the restaurant. My wife goes over and starts talking to him. And he's a regular customer. And he's giving us a 1-star review. It was one thing he didn't like. It was a sauce that we don't even make. It comes from Sanjay, which is a great Asian company that makes awesome sauces and other things. No corn syrup, really clean product, GMO-free, soy-free, gluten-free sauce. And he didn't like the sauce. My wife goes, we don't make the sauce and this and that. And so I started having a conversation with him. And it's a national brand. It's in places. I'm sure you're used to something else. Where do you go to eat? And as soon as she started asking questions, listening to him, well, we go to this place and it's this Thai restaurant. And I'm like, well, it's a different sauce. It's not a Thai sauce. It's a different type of sauce. And once she was able to just know that he was listening, he took the review down right there and wrote a new review for us and put up a 5-star review, how great customer service is and how they love it here and this and that. But he was just writing a bad review based upon sauce, nothing else, not his bad experience, not service, because the service was great. He loved all the other food. His wife ate the food, but he didn't like his sauce that went with his one dish. So, and another friend of mine on the West Coast who caught the person out in the parking lot and say, hey, aren't we friends? Do friends, go and give each other 1-star reviews online, and totally persuaded this person just by saying, hey, aren't we friends? You've been in here before. I've seen you here many times. You like it here. What happened this time? Talk to me. We're friends. Talk to me. Don't go online and bash me. Talk to me. Give me a chance to fix it. And I know you got the chance to fix it and you tried to fix it and it didn't work, but those are just some other stories I thought I'd throw in there. And again, thanks for watching. Hope that helps. If anybody has any questions, drop me some comments.